Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take sources you're curious about, break them down, and, well, pull out the key stuff to get you informed fast.
And today, we're really getting into David Goggins' Never Finished. We're working from some potent excerpts from a YouTube audio script about the book.
Yeah, and right off the bat, it poses this huge question, doesn't it? Is the real struggle, the one that actually matters, happening inside, against that voice telling us, okay, that's enough, just settle?
Exactly. And Goggins' whole philosophy, at least from these excerpts, it's not about finding comfort. Not at all.
No, it's this, intense self-confrontation, pushing way past what we think we can handle.
And Never Finished really comes across less as just, motivation and more like instructions, direct instructions for anyone feeling kind of stuck or wanting to build that mental toughness.
So the excerpts lay out a few core ideas we should probably dig into.
Yeah, things like this Never Finished concept itself, the mental lab, which sounds interesting, challenging perfectionism.
Right, and how we limit ourselves, accountability, and basically growing through discomfort.
Okay, so let's start with that core idea. You are not done.
It's punchy. What's the essence there?
Well, the idea seems to be that real growth, true development, it doesn't start when things are easy. It kicks in right when you feel like quitting.
Are you tired, uncomfortable?
Yeah, or just totally in the dark mentally. That's the starting line, apparently.
And there's a distinction made, right, between what the body says is the limit and what the mind can actually push through.
Exactly. That point where you want to stop. He's suggesting that's often just the brain's safety switch flipping early. It's not your actual capacity.
The real potential lies beyond that point.
That seems to be the message. The real journey starts when you push past that initial stop signal.
Okay, so to do that, he introduces this concept, the mental lab. What is that exactly? It's not like a physical place.
No, it's more a mindset. A deliberate decision to put yourself into adversity, like creating your own little testing ground for your mind.
So you intentionally seek out difficult situations.
Precisely. Think of it as a self-imposed training zone. You go there to study your reactions, to really look at those beliefs that hold you back.
And hopefully unlock something new.
Yeah, to unlock potential you didn't even know was there. It's like mental stress testing, but you're the one designing the test.
It sounds, well, intense. And the excerpts don't really soften that, do they?
Right.
Pain, discomfort, they're presented as necessary.
Right, not things to just run from, but more like feedback. Maybe even teachers, Essential parts of the process within this lab.
Okay. Now, what about this idea of perfection? Goggins apparently talks openly about his own struggles, even after his first book, Can't Hurt Me, was huge.
Yeah, and that transparency is really important, I think, because it kind of shatters the illusion that success means you figured it all out and the struggle stops.
It makes the whole never finished thing feel more achievable, or at least relatable.
Definitely. It challenges that notion that hitting a goal is the end. Instead, these excerpts frame it as, okay, you reach this level, now the real challenge begins, a higher level challenge.
So success isn't the finish line.
Seems like it's just the start of the next phase. The goal isn't invincibility. It's more like a constant evolution, sharpening yourself so those old excuses just don't work anymore.
Right, they lose their grip. Which ties into another big point. These self-imposed prisons we create.
Yeah, the idea that we build our own limitations based on, past failures, traumas, maybe stuff people told us.
And we start believing those limits are actual facts about who we are.
Exactly. We internalize these stories. I'm not smart enough. I'm not athletic. I always fail at this. They become our reality.
But Goggins flips that. He says, revisit the past, but not to assign blame.
Right. Revisit it for training. That's the key shift. He frames pain as the gym, and the memories, even the bad ones, are the weights you use to get stronger.
That's a powerful reframe. Pain is a gym.
It really is. Yeah. And owning that story, acknowledging it's yours, becomes the tool you use to change it. You take the power back from the past.
Okay, and then there's the accountability mirror. What's the deal with that? Is it just about feeling bad about your flaws?
No, not according to these excerpts. It's presented more as radical honesty, a tool to make yourself look at the version of you that isn't quite measuring up.
The one you might be avoiding looking at.
Exactly. And then this is crucial, taking action to become better, to close that gap between who you are and who you could be.
And the motivation isn't external, right? It's not about impressing anyone.
No, it seems purely internal. It's about proving something to yourself, earning your own respect through effort.
Gotcha. Another strong concept. Life has no off-season.
Yeah, that one really hits home. It challenges the whole idea that you can, achieve something big and then just check out, permanently relax.
Saying rest is okay,
Yeah,
but it should be strategic. For reloading, not retiring.
that's the sense I get. Strategic rest, yes. Permanent breaks after hitting a goal, maybe not so much if you want continuous growth, because the core idea keeps surfacing.
That your mind will quit before your body does.
Almost always, yeah. Which leads to that critical question you have to ask yourself.
Is the comfort of stopping now worth giving up who you could become later?
It's a tough question. Is comfort worth sacrificing your potential?
Okay, so this is all powerful stuff, but how do you actually, do this? How do you apply it day to day? The excerpts say, don't wait for the perfect moment.
Yeah, start now. And the first step seems to be identifying your personal can'ts, those limiting stories you tell yourself.
I'm not a morning person. I'm too old for that. I could never. That kind of stuff.
Exactly. Write them down, maybe. Acknowledge them. And then the key is action. You have to break them with action, not just wishful thinking.
This is where that personal mental lab comes back in, creating it in your everyday life.
Right. It means intentionally choosing one thing each day that challenges you, that pushes you slightly outside your comfort zone.
Could be small things.
Absolutely. Waking up 30 minutes earlier, exercising when you really don't feel like it, having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Anything that involves embracing a bit of discomfort.
And building some kind of accountability.
Yeah, but maybe not just cheerleaders. The excerpts mention truth tellers, people who give you honest feedback, or even just brutally honest self-reflection. Are you actually doing what you said you'd do?
And when that voice pipes up, the one saying, this is too hard, just quit.
The counter statement Goggins suggests is powerful. I'm just getting started.
Like resetting the narrative in that moment.
Exactly, refusing to let that feeling be the end of the story.
It's important to stress though, right? The goal isn't to become Goggins 2.0.
No, definitely not. The excerpts are clear on that. It's about becoming more you, unlocking your own authentic potential, unburdened by those self-imposed limits, being committed to your future.
And his own resilience, it wasn't just something he was born with.
Not at all. It was forged, built decision by decision, every time he chose not to surrender to the easy way out. It's a learned, practiced resilience.
Choosing to face the hard stuff, the fear, the pain.
And actually using it as fuel, as a catalyst for finding out what he was really made of.
So reaching that next level, whatever it is for you listening, it really hinges on making a decision.
Yeah, a decision to stop hiding, stop making excuses, stop waiting for someone else to fix it.
And just take action. Self-directed action.
That seems to be the core. Which brings us back full circle.
To the idea that comfort is often the biggest obstacle. And real growth, maybe even real freedom, is found on the other side of adversity. By discovering that strength inside.
You're not done, you're never finished.
That really is the takeaway message here. And look, if you're ready to stop settling, if you're tired of letting your mind call all the shots on your limits, and you want to start building potential through, well, getting uncomfortable.
Then Never Finished sounds like the book to read. And it's framed here not just as feel-good inspiration.
All right, this is instruction, practical steps. We'll put the link to the book in the description.
So yeah, to wrap up, this deep dive into these excerpts really gives you a framework. A way to challenge those internal limits and see discomfort not as something to avoid, but as the actual path forward.
It circles back to that opening question, doesn't it? Is the real battle internal?
It seems Goggins argues a resounding yes and offers a way to engage in that battle constructively.
It's definitely focused on actionable steps, not just temporary motivation.
Which feels more sustainable.
Absolutely. So here's a final thought for you to maybe chew on. What's one comfortable limit you've kind of just accepted in your life? Something that, if you're really honest, might be holding you back.
And following on from that, what's one small thing, maybe slightly uncomfortable thing you could actually do today, right now, to start pushing against that specific limit? Just a small step.